Okay, this is going to be another, of course, ride with me to work video, but what this is going to be is like a follow-up, kind of like a part 2 to the video I uploaded yesterday titled, I think it's Manifesting You Can't Do Anything. And I want to add some more stuff to that. Try not to repeat what I said in that video. I would, suggest if you're interested in this stuff to check that video out either before you finish this one or after this one. It doesn't matter which order you're listening to them in. It's not really a part 1, part 2, but it's just kind of like the same topic, but I want to kind of deal with it from a little different perspective and try to cover some things I didn't cover in that video. And of course, as always, I'm doing this stuff off the top of my head. So Seth, that was channeled by Jane Roberts, that entity, that energy, that personality, like all of us are. It's just an energy, a frequency. I think it was the first book that of the Seth material, the Seth books that were written, that were channeled by Jane Roberts, is titled Nature of Personal Reality. The nature of personal reality, your personal reality and reality in itself. The nature of reality. And you have to understand the nature of reality to understand manifesting, and life in general, and things like that. If you don't understand it, or if you have some stuff added into it, you'll put a lot of what I call religious rules and regulations and things like that on it, and you'll add things that you don't need to. I notice a lot of people do that. The other entity or personality frequency that's channeled that I want to point towards is Abraham, who's channeled by Esther Hicks. Now, Abraham says that a lot of people, what happens is something will manifest in their life, especially a big thing, what we call a big thing. Will manifest something, and then they will change the story. And what Abraham means by that is, and actually Abraham, I actually heard in a recording Abraham say that, you change the story. You want to act like it was something you did. Well, Neville Goddard, years before that, would say in lectures and said in some of his writings that things will manifest in such a way so seemingly natural here in this human life video game we're playing here, this matrix we're in, this lucid dream that we're in, that people will, you can manifest something and then later, as Neville say, you go back to sleep. In other words, what will happen is you will basically change the story. You will think it, as Neville said, you will think it would happen anyway. People around you who aren't in the know and don't understand, don't think spiritually or metaphysically, will say these miraculous things, these awesome things that manifest for you. They'll say, it would have happened anyway. And that's part of the human story. Now, when Neville's talking about you go back to sleep, that's kind of what Abraham's saying, you change the story. Is people can go back to sleep and forget and think, it would have happened anyway, and then go back to thinking that life is all about the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the actions you take. And it's not at all. Like I said in this video, I'm going to put the words, do nothing. Because Neville Goddard would say, when you would choose what you wanted, imagine it and choose it to be true, and you start to see the world from the state of that thing is already going to be true, is already true, whether it's physically true at this moment or not, the bill is paid, the healing you got, whatever that you want to manifest, the better parking space in this, wherever you're heading to, you want a good parking space in that parking lot, it doesn't matter. That he would say, do nothing, because you can't do anything. And he would say, don't lift a finger, because you can do it, you can try to effort. Here's the whole thing. I have discovered in my late 50s and studying this stuff, practicing this way of living and thinking and seeing reality this way, is understanding I can do nothing. And Neville said that we only have one freedom. He says we only have one freedom, but it's the only freedom we need, is to choose what is true for us in everything. Your love life, your financial life, your health life, and everything in between. Including, it's true for you that you got a good parking space at this parking lot that's normally always packed. If that's important to you, okay? The car broke down here in front of me. evasive action here. So you could do nothing. You don't have the freedom to do anything. Yeah, you can do things. You can try to figure things out. You can try to talk things out, convince people, talk your way into the situation you want with people. Work your way physically, efforting with your physical self in the physical world, with your physical ego, your human brain, and your ego, and your character, and all that, the human character you're playing. You can try to figure things out with your human ego mind, and you can try to force things out with your human ego, your mouth, your actions, whatever. Maybe you'll get results. Maybe you'll get half-assed results. Maybe you'll get results that you want, but only after a lot of efforting. Is that what you want in life? Now, it is true that if you're in a state of mind that things will, you can manifest things, but it's hard, or that you have to do a certain technique, or live a certain way first. You can't drink alcohol, you can't eat meat. If you want what you want to manifest, you have to, whatever rules you have, right? You have to keep the Sabbath day or something like that. Then that's going to be true for you. And if you think that you got to effort and earn things, or be worthy of things, or burn out bad karma, or get rid of your sins, or remove limiting beliefs, or mental blockages, and all this other kind of crap, if you think that that's what you got to do, or you got to think positively about what you want to manifest all the time, or like I said, manifesting techniques, then that's going to be true for you. But that's true for you. And when what happens is people like that think that kind of stuff, they have these regulations and rules and things they have to go by, steps they have to obey, or something like that to get things to manifest. Then they get frustrated when other people are manifesting the hell out of shit and not have to do any of that crap. Okay? That ought to be your first clue that you can't do anything anyway. So do nothing. So let's say you want a job, right? You want a better paying job. Do you go put applications out? Hey, only if that's the true, authentic you and you're just having fun. Never do anything, not even manifesting techniques, from the state of lack. And by the way, desire, which Neville says desire is divine, it's your higher mind telling you what you can and will have or experience if you allow it to happen, if you accept it to be true and allow it to happen. Well, desire is divine, but you need to understand something. Desire is a state of lack. That's why Neville's taught. He said, as soon as the desire for something comes upon you, whether it's for a good parking space at the destination you're heading to in a parking lot, or it's a good job, or better health, or lose the weight you want, or get the tickets to to a sold out show, or to have someone manifest in your life you've been wanting to see, or whatever, or the love of your life to come into your life, whatever it is that you want to manifest, or you want to see something manifested for someone else, a loved one or a friend. For any of that to happen, you just choose that it's true immediately. Just choose that it's true. Now, Neville taught all these imagining techniques. You imagine it every night before you go to sleep, or right as you're waking up in the morning. And he taught, about SATS, state akin to sleep, which is a hypnagogic state where you're half awake, half asleep. It's also a form of hypnosis, or hypnotic state. But the hypnagogic state akin to sleep that Neville talked about was where you're half awake, half asleep, right before you go to bed, or right before you go to sleep at night, and right before you wake up in the morning or whatever, unless you work night shift, it sucks. Okay. That's because your human ego brain is relaxed. That's why. I know that, and I went through the whole gamut of learning the whole concept of subconscious. Neville used to teach about the subconscious. The New Thought movement people and all that stuff used to teach about the subconscious. Neville got away from that, if you'll notice. Later on in his teachings and stuff, he got away from the whole subconscious bullshit. You don't have to impress your subconscious. All of this crap, that's just bullshit. You need to do nothing but choose what is true for you. Now, some people might say, well, isn't choosing doing something? Well, if you treat choosing or deciding what you want to manifest to be true for you, and you treat it like a technique, but you're choosing constantly all the time. let me give you an example. If you're in a room, and let's say you're having a conversation with somebody, or you're watching a TV show, or you're listening to music, and there's other noises and air conditioning going on, other people talking, other noise going on, people's devices, their phones and stuff going on, things like this. You're focused in and you choose what to pay attention to. You know that there's other noises. It's the same thing when you're, watching something on TV. You're not paying attention to what else is going on in the room, okay? Or watching something on your phone or whatever. Or let's say you're just paying attention to one thing that's on the screen and you don't see the other parts of what the other character's doing because you're really zoned in on something. Maybe you're zoned in on a character's face, their looks, or maybe you're zoned in on their clothing, or you're zoned in on something going on in the background of the scene, those type of things. So, you zone in. You can only zone in on one thing. This is why the Bible talks about putting your hand to the plow and not looking back. It talks about you can only serve God or you can only serve mammon or serve God. And part of that is the principle that you can only focus on one thing at a time. It's kind of like if you hit your thumb with a hammer, but you also stub your toe, okay, or drop the 2x4 on your toe, okay, you're going to only feel one of those pains. One's going to be more prominent than the other. That's all there is to it. You can only focus in on one thing. Your third eye, your mental eye, your consciousness, your conscious awareness, the true who you are. You're a third eyeball, okay? Your conscious awareness is what you are. And you can only be consciously aware of one thing when you're focused in on something. You're only going to be you can only focus in on one thing. Now, you can be like in a state of meditating or something like that where you're aware of all these different things. I like to use the analogy of the cars going down the highway, a whole bunch of cars on the highway, and you're sitting there by the highway just watching. You can focus in on the big 18-wheeler. You can focus in on the motorcycle. You can focus in on the Volkswagen Bug or the school bus or the pickup truck to the exclusion of the other cars. You know they're there. Well, that's the same way with your thoughts and your awareness. Is you can focus in on one particular train of thought, or you can just kind of sit there and be kind of neutral and just let the thoughts come and go. That's what you do when you meditate and you're relaxing your mind. You're just allowing things to come and go. But once you focus in on something, now you become consciously aware of that one thing. You're focused in on it to the exclusion of the other things. Now, let me go back to the whole concept of you do nothing. Because like I said in my previous video that I uploaded yesterday, you can't do anything anyway. It's an illusion, as Neville said, to think that you can do anything, for you can do nothing. People think that this physical reality is real. The experience is, that's it. And experience is in mind. Pleasure and pain, everything is in the mind. The tasting of the food, everything is in mind. Now, you may think I mean the brain and the nervous system of the brain that processes taste. It processes temperature, hot, cold, comfort in a chair, sexual pleasure. Everything is in the physical brain. But it's deeper than that. It's in awareness. Okay, these monks that, I hope I say this word right, self-immolate. They pour gas on themselves and set themselves on fire out of, protest. Or these monks or these Hindu Swami guys that do these amazing feats, these Chinese Kung Fu guys that do, amazing feats and things like that, and all of that, athletes, all that, they do these amazing things because they can shut out the pain, shut out everything else, and be single-minded and focused on something else, right? Okay, that means that your brain, your physical brain, which would register, yourself burning, or if you're trying to burn yourself to death, or, pain or discomfort, is like if you're standing on one leg for 2 weeks, like a Hindu Swami might do, or something like that. What you're doing is you're taking your awareness off of the physical things and you're putting it somewhere else. You've heard the saying, he's not really here, he's somewhere else in a pleasant place, not suffering, you see, because he's, gone out of his mind, basically. He's not letting his physical brain and his physical nervous system control. He's learned to master his focused awareness. That's why people that meditate, these Hindu people, Buddhist people, stuff like that, they can do amazing things by learning how to basically kind of go out of their body. Well, that's and conscious awareness, the mere fact that your conscious awareness is proven to you by the fact that there have been numerous out-of-body experiences that have been logged and charted in laboratory settings, in not just in America, but in Russia and other countries. And it's been done for decades, is they have documented scientifically that people can go out of their body, away from their physical body and physical brain and nervous system, physical eyeballs, ears, and all that, and they can go anywhere from a mile down to the next room, to a mile down the road, to hundreds of miles, thousands of miles around the planet, and put themselves in a spot and see and hear and experience things that are going on. They're floating around, basically. Their conscious awareness, their soul, or whatever you want to call it, is floating around and can observe things. People have had near-death experiences when they go out of the body. Okay, and they can hear what's going on in the hospital room, and then they can hear what's going down the hospital hall way away from where their physical body is. Okay, so this tells you your conscious awareness. Now, some people they see the light, or they go to heaven or hell, or they, see their, relatives, ancestors, or something like that. That's because all really is imagination. And there's no objective reality except for consciousness. And in consciousness, any kind of seeming reality, dream world, can exist. This is a dream world. So the mere fact that you think you're doing something physically in the dream world, no, you do something by where you're going to choose to put your awareness. Now, again, people can say that's doing something. Isn't that doing something, man? You're saying do nothing, but then you're saying put your awareness, choose where you want your awareness. Well, that's doing something. Well, if you consider sitting and listening to music or watching a show or whatever doing something, it's a passive doing something. You're not exerting any effort whatsoever. You're simply allowing the music to come into your ear, or the TV show to come into your eyes, or whatever, the YouTube video. Or as you're listening to me, you're passively listening to me, because there's really nothing to see. I'm driving and I'm mostly in the dark, so unless I go by street lights or something, or brake lights, or red light or something you can see. But anyhow, that's a passive thing. And you can simply take your awareness from listening to me and put it on something else and be distracted or daydreaming and not paying attention to what else is being said in the video, right? It's the same thing. It's where you put your awareness and where you choose to keep your awareness. Every day you put your awareness on, I have an abundance of money, I have plenty of money to pay all my bills and buy things I want and need. I have health, I'm good fitness, I'm the weight I want to be. You put your focus on that. Now, are there things you need to do to get the money or lose that weight or to get the health you need, better health or whatever? If there is, you will do them anyway. The whole idea that you got to do anything, this is, in this video, I kind of want to, because I've already touched on a lot of that in my previous video, is the one titled Manifestation, You Can't Do Anything. In this video, it's going to be something like Manifestation, Do Nothing. And so I want to do more from the do nothing part, not trying to prove to you that you can't do anything. I've already talked about that in my previous video, is the whole concept, I have learned to do nothing. Yeah. Okay, you say, well, look at you. You need money and you're driving to work right now. You're doing something, and then when you go to work, you're going to do your job and all that to the best of your ability, blah, blah, blah. So you're doing something to get money. I'm living in the moment, always in the eternal now. There's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow. There is no 5 minutes ago. There is no 5 minutes from now. There is only the eternal now. Like I say in my videos, if you were to time travel in a time machine, if that were possible, if you went in the past or the future, you'd be in that now, right then, okay? And it would be a particular moment in time, a particular day and time and minute and everything that you would appear if you were in a time machine and you went in the past or the future. So, there's only the eternal now. I'm living in the now at this moment, but in my mind, I am retired. In my mind, I'm early retired. I don't desire that anymore. That's a state of lack, actually. All desire is telling you something that you want. Once you choose, you have it. Don't agree, yeah, I want that, because that's all you're going to ever get in life. Is you agree you want that, yeah. They say, God always says yes, or the universe always says yes. That's true. I want this. I need this new car. I want this new car, whatever, or I need a good car, or I want this but cool car, or whatever, for examples. The universe is always going to say yes, yes, you do want it, or yes, yes, you do need it. The moment you say I have it, the universe is going to say yes. How about that? because you are the universe. You're not separate from anything. You're not separate from the things you desire. You already have them. You're not separate from the universe. You are the universe living as the human character that you're playing right now. You're the one universal mind. You're God Almighty, if you want to use that that example, that metaphor, that archetype. You are God Almighty, living as you, as the human you. And God Almighty is also living as me and everyone else. Or the universe, or source, consciousness, is living as all of us human beings. Now, you can do nothing. That's the thing, is people think we're here to do things. To be a carpenter, to be a mother, to be an engineer, to be a dentist, to be a painter, to be a rock star. Everyone thinks to be an explorer or whatever. Everyone thinks they're here to do things. No, you're not. You're here for the experience, period. It's just conscious awareness. The universe is not physical, ladies and gentlemen. The universe is a universal mind. It's an illusion. When we see all the, they look out there and they see the stars, which are nothing but suns, and they see, different galaxies and Milky Ways and planets and asteroids and comets and all this so-called heavenly bodies or space bodies. It's an illusion. But you're looking, whatever you're looking at right now, if you're looking at your device, listening to this, or whatever you're doing right now, that's an illusion. It's the experience that is real. You're in a dream. And when you realize that and you understand that's the true nature of reality and the nature of your personal reality, is that you're lucid dreaming. You are the universe lucid dreaming as a human, playing in this human life matrix video game, lucid dream. You are meditating. You are God meditating and imagining your human self. That's what you're doing. So the experience is absolutely real. It's the same thing as playing a video game. You're not actually in the video game, but the experience is real. This is like a video game. Your human self is your avatar. It's like watching a movie or a TV show or something like that. But the TV show isn't real. But the experience and the story you're watching, or movie or play on stage, that's real. That experience is very real. And that's what's going on there. So, when you understand that, and you realize, oh, I'm not here to do anything. I'm here to experience. Now, as you want to ride a bicycle, or you want to go, I don't know, to Disney World, or on a trip, or just go see some family or something, okay? Like my wife and I and some other family members, we're going to go see some other family. We'll take a vacation work, and we're going to go see some family here pretty soon, okay? That's an experience, right? You're not here to do the thing. You're here for the experience, okay? After we visit them, we come back and everything, it's going to be the experience, remember, just like last time we visited them, or last time they came and visited us. It is it's the experience. My oldest son and his wife came up and seen us a few months ago, and that was an experience, right? Okay, they're not here anymore. There's physically nothing about that. It's not physically true that they're here anymore. They're back home in the state that they live in. It's the experience that is remembered. We're here for experience. The experiences, okay? Well, it's tasting the good food that you're going to eat today, the great sex you're going to have, or the comfortable chair you're going to sit in, or just a nice warm bath you're going to sit, or the comfortable shoes you just bought and you put on, you enjoy walking around in them. You're here for those experiences. You're here for the experience of interaction with the humans, your fellow humans, and it could be bad, good, indifferent, but you're here for experience. Doing nothing. You do nothing because you can't do anything anyway. But I have learned to not even try anymore. I make no effort. I talk about Wu Wei a lot from the Tao Te Ching, which means effortless action. I just do. What was the Yoda says in Star Wars says, don't try, do. What's that? I don't know the movie, but it's a audio sampling a clip that's in a White Zombie song. I don't try anything. I just do it. Those of you who are White Zombie fans will know. I don't know where the movie that's from, but anyhow, you don't just do you. I drove to work this morning. uh, um, just to do. Okay, it's what's on my plate to do at this moment. But I've already imagined that I am early retired, and I feel that fulfillment of that. And then I keep going to work. I'm not frustrated about it. There's things at work sometimes that frustrate me. I'm trying to tear a car out and it doesn't, can't get the motor out or something. But, the point being is live in the moment, but know that you've already chosen what's true for you and experience it in imagination, as Neville said. That's all you can do is you put your awareness that you are what you want already. You have already what you want. You are the person that has what you want already. And from that, and just from that, what you do is, fixing to go in here for a second. Gonna take care of some stuff. But you do what it is that you need to do at the moment. But the whole time now, you're not doing anything to make anything manifest. If that makes sense to you. You're not doing anything to make anything manifest. So do nothing. Choose what you want to be true for yourself, and any actions you have to take, you'll take them anyway. But I have learned, and I just want to repeat in this video, because that's what this video is about. I have learned I don't make any efforts anymore. I don't try to figure anything out anymore. I don't feel like I have to argue or convince anyone. Okay, my wife, for example, my sweet, awesome wife. Okay. What I do is I have chosen how the version of her that I want. The things that I want, the personality. I do that with coworkers. I have chosen the version that I want. And if they're not showing exactly that version at this moment, so what? I have chosen the version of what I want with my vehicle or everything, my money, everything. I have chosen that version. And it can have different attributes or just one. But I've chosen. You choose what you want. And I do nothing. I literally have learned to do nothing but experience and enjoy the ride and allow things to unfold for me. That's the point I want to make in this video. I have learned that I don't argue with anybody. I told my wife back in 2019, I said, I have learned that I am not going to fight with other human beings anymore. In other words, argue with them, try to convince them. And since then, since 2019, I've caught the old Ryan, the old habits sometimes, and I'm like, no. I'm going to choose the version of this situation or this person or choose the version of money that I want or whatever. I'm just going to choose that everything goes my way. And I choose what I want and I do nothing. And just everything flows to me. Do nothing and you'll get everything. People have talked about that in videos. They title their videos with those type of words, do nothing and get everything. And that is so true. Do nothing. Just choose what you want to be aware of that's true for you, even if it's not physically true. Don't do a thing. As Neville said, don't lift a finger. And when it does happen, don't do as Abraham Hicks says, don't change the story. Understand the nature of personal reality and understand the nature of reality. It's just a dream. You choose what you're aware of. But you're not doing anything with your hands, talking people into things, nothing. Do nothing. Just imagine it's done. All right, I'm going to end this video. I got to run in here real quick. Take care of some stuff before it's time to clock in. I hope you got something from this video. Do nothing. Choose what you want to be true for yourself and resist the urge to just want to force anything. Instead, only do what feels good to you. That's all. Just do what you enjoy would do anyway. If it feels good to you, you're looking for a new job, and it feels good to you to call this place or put an application in, then do it. But never do anything with a stipulation that, well, this has got to be it, and never do anything from a state of lack. Like, I don't have this, so I need to do this. No, just be you. Force nothing. And in the meantime, just do. Don't try. Just live your life. Have fun. Don't try to do anything. Just be you. You've already made your decision what's true for you. And that's when you'll find out that life is actually the nature of personal reality, and nature of reality is indeed mental, and it's not physical at all. End of this video.